Hey family, it's Tasha. We're prepping. You already know what time it is. Get your drink, pull up. Let's talk about it. So today I want to say welcome to the channel. I also want to take a minute and just say thank you. You know, I went and checked, I have a PO box like a lot of creators on here, and I went to check it, and I've had an issue with the key this entire time that we've been back to Washington and haven't had a key. And every time I go, it's an issue about the key and an excuse, and they give me my mail, and I keep it pushing. Well, I go to get mail yesterday, which I don't check the box, that often. But they're supposed to notify me. And I go, and there's this whole thing about the key again. And I get my boxes, and then she's just like, and I was like, and what's up with the key? And she goes, oh, that's in the box. And I'm like, well, how's it in the box, and how am I supposed to get that? Can I get the key and whatever else is in there? Like, can I just go? Well, clearly I must have been having to say that before. So all these times that I was making a big deal about, I do not have access to the box. I don't know what's in the box. I can't see the box. I don't have a key to the box. Apparently I needed to say, look in the box and get me my shit, right? And so basically I say all that to say yesterday, I actually said that because she mentions there's a key in there that I cannot obviously access. She gives me that, and she gives me, you guys, a stack of envelopes. Now, I just want to say, first of all, apologies and thank you, because there was so much mail in there. Personal letters to me, personal cards. I had cards in there, you guys, from Halloween, from Christmas. I had a beautiful, beautiful gift from somebody. I won't mention any names. Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing letters and cards back to all you folks. But I got a beautiful gift that was meant for me to use because I mentioned on here we were going to be taking care of Pops. And so it was a gift that was to help us stay organized and get with that. And I just almost cried yesterday when I saw it, because here months later, Pops is long gone. He's left, gone back home. This was a beautiful gift that would have been beautiful to use. Still very, very thankful. Okay. I think it's an awesome gift. So thank you. Okay. But I just was so upset, right, that this is what's happening. Or I'm saying, let me pick up everything, and I don't have a key. I'm arguing with you at every single time, and I'm not getting all my mail. So to say the least, I was very upset. I got a few other things as why I went there, because people had said, hey, I sent you something, please go get it or whatever. And so I had gone there. So there's some stuff I got, beautiful gifts that people had let me know were coming. And so thank you for that. And thank you for all the personal letters, the personal cards, the gift cards, the postcards, regular cards. Just thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. That stuff means something to me more than because that's a personal touch. It's somebody took time to write those letters and write those words down, and that matters to me. So thank you. I want to get and shift gears now to what I want to talk about, which is, how panic happens, misinformation, not being prepared, how that all plays into the big scheme of things and the big plan of what they have for us, right? And how this will shift, and how you see the shift happen already when certain things happen. But maybe people don't notice it, don't talk about it, whatever the case may be. So, something happens like the Delaware thing last Friday, right? Another chemical spill into a river, this one from a plant, same chemicals that happened and were spilled at East Palestine. And this time they're talking about it a little bit, right? Not too much. Even if you go Google, you have to really put the right words in to get stuff to pull up. And essentially, this spill happened. It was reported right away. Get bottled water. Panic ensued. People that didn't have water obviously ran and got water. And now this dialogue, after they've addressed stuff, is starting to develop, where they're like, no. Don't panic. You don't need water. You need to just, store up the tap water. The tap water is actually safe until Monday. Basically, they've done the calculations, and they've allegedly, as my girl Preparedness would say, allegedly that water is going to be good until Monday. And Monday is when the bad stuff will be coming through the pipes. First of all, I don't know if you would want to take the chance with your family's life, your family's health, on some calculations like, no, that water's good. And maybe it is, and maybe you take it out, maybe you test it yourself. I don't know. But and maybe you're boiling and filtering. I don't know, right? All I know is I don't know that I would be that quick to be trusting of like, oh, they said it's fine till Monday now. First, they panicked, right? The people in charge panicked and said, get bottled water. People freaked out, panicked by it. The shelves are empty. And now all of a sudden it's like, no, you didn't need to do that. You don't need emergency bottled water. Why are you doing that? Drink the tap water. It's fine. Mind you, good till Monday is not good enough, right? If that's even a fact and that's true in itself, you would still need water to get you past the point of Monday, assuming that stuff is not corrected and not cleaned out, right? Which it's not going to be. This is a chemical. So, a little upsetting, the back and forth, the misinformation, the government, people, right? The news, all these people have an opinion about misinformation and the definition of it. And I think that we do a disservice when we jump to conclusions and we don't prepare. We're so reactive. We're not proactive. I mean, you're telling me that a chemical plant and the people that are dealing with us don't train for this, don't have immediate ways to tell if stuff is safe, not safe, what has happened, how to address what's happened, how to test for what's happened, whatever the case may be. And I don't even want to get mad at the fact that they were like, just seesaw water. I'm not even 100% mad at that. I'm mad at the back and forth. And, when a situation happens, we're not always going to get the truth, the side of truth, right? And so it's important for you to think about your family in this moment and think about a situation like this happening and how it affects you right now. If that happened in your area or something along those lines where the water was compromised, what would you do? Where do you stand right now with water in your home? And a lot of people, we don't need to have a lot of water, or they have a couple cases and they're like, we're fine. That is not enough for an emergency situation. You don't have to be a tin hat wearing crazy person to know the importance of stockpiling and having emergency water in your home, okay? And it's emergency water to flush toilets. It's emergency water to brush your teeth. It's emergency water to drink. It's emergency water to give to the animals. It's emergency water to cook with. I mean, there's a lot of ways and reasons why you need water, right? To get clean, to wash dishes, to do laundry. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. If we're just talking merely about drinking water and cooking water, right? Animals, you, and possibly a little bit of cooking, that's a lot of water, okay? And so it's important that you figure out for you and your family and get some water. I said a while ago, get a 55 drum of water, fill that up, treat it, keep it. Get your pop-ups. If you live in a small place, get your pop-up containers that in a situation like this, you could fill up or whatever. If you decided to, for example, trust what they were telling them now that, hey, they're safe to get water until Monday. You just need to really be thinking about the ways to protect you and your family when things happen. Water is just one little thing. We talk about food, water, meds here. Water is just one thing. I did a water series. I spent a lot of time on it because water, I get all these questions all the time. I get like little math questions that something so simple like, hey, how much, how do I treat a 55-gallon thing of water? For example, I told everybody the other day, get your 55. Well, that is a complicated question because it depends on, well, what are you treating it with? What are you treating with it? Do you have bleach? Do you have something else? Do you have pool shock? Like, what do you have? There's several different chemicals and different things that you can get and put in there. There's products you can buy that are already measured out for a 55-gallon drum. Or there's math that's involved that you have to figure out depending on what you're using to treat the water. Okay, so it's not just as simple as, like I used to tell people, well, just go on Amazon and get the 55-gallon treat. There's a lot of them. Well, they were out, right? And so I put that out. So I don't do that anymore. What I did is in this series is I gave you the manual, the military manual, the manual that me and my family use. that goes over all the calculations depending on what you are using, okay, to treat the water, okay? You have to have ways to boil the water, you need to have ways to filter the water, and you need to have ways to treat the water, okay? And if you're storing water, you need to put it in that, whatever the container is, and then do the math on how big the container is, and what product you're putting in to treat the water, okay? And so these little onesie twosie maths, you're not learning anything from just finding a video of somebody saying, hey, put this much bleach in this thing of water. No, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. You're literally just trusting somebody to tell you that. You should be doing the research yourself. You should be getting this manual. You should be doing the math, figuring out what product you're going to buy, which product you have to treat, and then figure it out and do the math. Now, you can bounce that off of somebody else that does the same thing, but you have to do the legwork, because in a crisis, in survival, are you going to remember what you did, right? And then what happens? You're trying to treat water in a totally different container that's a different size, and now you're like all conjumbled. You're like, I don't even know what I'm doing. You need to write this stuff down yourself, have your own water charts, your own treatment charts, have it written down and know. And the family knows, right? This is important. This is going to be life-saving. Tons of people are going to die in a bad situation due to water, due to unsafe water, not knowing how to make it safe. And I did this series, and I did it day by day, and everything was kind of different section of that. One day is collecting water. One day, there's all these different days in areas where I'm talking about water, where I go very in depth. So please go to my videos, go to the playlist. There's a playlist that's called Water Preparedness, and it's in there, okay? There's other water videos in there as well, but I did a string of them all together. You've got to get water down pat. And this is an area that people like to ignore. It's overwhelming. There's math involved. They get nervous about where they're going to keep it. But if you don't have it, you're going to die. And what happens is SHTF happens, insert an event, people panic. Then you have limits, then you go into rations. Later on, when we have a digital currency, which I'm not going to be a part of, but later on, when there's a digital currency, there's a digital world, hey, this is the way it's going to be ran, there won't even be panic buying, okay? Because you'll be restricted from jump. It will go straight to rations, everybody's going to be rations, have limits on exactly what you're able to buy, how much you're able to buy, and there'll be no panic. There'll be no being able to prepare at that point. So you have to do what you have to do now to get you and your family ready, okay? To get ready for when that day rations come. And the thing is about rations is not that far away. People are like, oh, we would never have rations. Not no time soon. You don't think? If we're in a full-scale blown war with two countries and we're low on supplies, we're not getting our supplies in, we're not getting food, stores are low on a supply, the run has already happened. Even if it wasn't a fast run, it was a slow run on the stores and the food is gone. You don't think there's a ration? The minute that those levels are low, right, and we have a war and the imports and exports and all that stuff is stopping, you don't think that your government would do rations, ration on gas, ration on food, ration on all of that stuff? They're going to do that because they're going to try to insert themselves in the situation to be able to control it. And if they can control that, they can control you, they can control the people, okay? So don't be blind to this stuff, right? I don't want you to sit here, and this wasn't meant to get you to put your hat on and put your tinfoil hats on and let's go, let's get it. No, it was meant to have you think about your water supplies today. Think about what you have. Think about how you can add to it, how you can make it bigger. Maybe it's just stepping up your rain barrel game, your collection game, and that's a rabbit hole too, as far as safety and is it safe and will it be even safe in the future and chemtrails and all of this stuff, this nasty stuff that's in the air, right? I seen a video the other day, super disturbing. I can't even remember where it was, but there was an airplane flying over and this dude was videoing all his chickens dying on the spot. Now, it was a different country, you guys. This wasn't, I don't think this was in the States anywhere, but this guy's chickens were dying right on the spot. Little chicks next to their mama, big chickens, roosters, they were all just on the spot dying after this crop plane came over, right? And you can't see anything falling out of the sky or anything like that in this video. You just see all these chickens dying. And obviously it's not hurting the humans are alive, but I mean, you can't trust anything. All you can do is continue to prepare, Continue to stockpile, continue to get the things, continue to do the things, continue to make stuff shelf stable food, staples food, basic foods, whole foods. Stockpile them, baby, like your life depends on it. If you guys are a big beans eater, a big rice eater, a big pasta eater, whatever it is, get a shit ton of it, okay? Get a lot of it. You can make all your meals around that stuff, okay? Get your whole ingredients, get your baking ingredients, learn to make bread, learn to make tortilla, right? But that water, this situation that's happening with these folks that are freaking out. I seen a clip too where the guy's like, oh, look at this. Just, he's filming the people freaking out, getting their water. He's like, look at this. Everybody's running on the water. He's like, there's water and soda too, right? Just being funny about it. And it's like, it's not a game. Water's not a game, right? But the time to be getting it is not when a situation like that happens. There's so many other things that you can be doing when a catastrophe happens, when something happens. Instead of running to get that water, you could be testing water that's maybe already in your water filters. Be testing water that's coming out of your tap. Testing, changing out water for your animals. There could be a lot of different things that you're using, right? You could be storing that water, right? Collect that water. Maybe I don't plan to drink that water at all, but I immediately start collecting it because I want it to be able to flush my toilets, right? I want it for other reasons that might be, that I can't see are going to happen. Domino effects that may happen later where I need water, but I need non-potable water, right? And I just want to add to my stockpile. There's a lot of things, valuable things that you could be doing outside of running to the store in a panic with people that are disgruntled and scared, trying to just get your case or 2 cases of water, right? That's a dangerous time, is to be out in the streets trying to grab something last minute during a catastrophe. It's not the time to do it, right? It's not what we preach. It's not what you should be doing. That's why you prepare. So you do not have to do that. You do not have to go to the store. You don't have to grab stuff last minute because you have that stuff. So continue to prep, continue to look at those holes. Start with water. I know it's hard. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to do it. It's, got to do it. Okay. And you're going to be so thankful that you thought about water, thought it through, did the math, figured out how are you treating your water? How would you treat your water? What product did you get and how are you treating it? And then you can do your own math and you've taught yourself something. It's a skill set that could save lives, your family's life, your life, and other people's lives potentially later that you come in contact with. Okay. So be well. Thank you for all of those who sent me those beautiful cards, beautiful letters. I just was overjoyed, overfilled with joy yesterday with reading all this stuff and seeing these small gifts. And I just was so thankful. I'm thankful for each one of you subscribers, people who've watched me. I don't care if you've watched me a day or if you watched me 3 years, right? Just thank you. I appreciate your support, appreciate your love, I appreciate you watching these videos, keeping this channel going, right? To some capacity. And I just hope that I'm still giving it to you. I'm still giving you some ideas and information and keeping you motivated. This is hard, right? This is a lifestyle. And especially if you're not in a homesteading setting, right? It's much easier to me if you're in a homesteading situation, you have land, it's easier to do that. But if you're in an urban environment, this is not the easiest thing to do, right? There's a lot of things that have to be changed and manipulated and creativity, and it's not the easiest, right? And so keep doing what you're doing, 1 jar at a time for food preservation, 1 goal at a time, 1 project at a time. Just keep trucking and think about those things that you still need to get and get those things. Okay. Water, food, meds, food, water, meds. It's a must. Okay. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I actually hurt a little bit because I was in the garden all day yesterday. My back hurt in the morning, so at first I didn't think I was going to be going out, but I did. But I got a lot of stuff done, and it felt good to just get plants in the ground, get some seeds planted, get some, some stuff watered up, move some stuff, plan out some stuff. I reorganized where certain things were going to go that I had already decided they were going to go, and then I'm making last minute changes. So that's fun, kind of just developing a layout as I go. And so I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the sun and I'm enjoying the gardening. So I hope you guys are as well. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Take care. Bye.